So, Action just dropped a new video titled, How Blizzard Accidentally Created Their Worst Enemy. And I'll be damned if I do not watch it.
Welcome to Blizzard Castle, former home of King Bobby Kotick, now brought to ruin. When insatiable greed caused Blizzard Castle to fall, the pieces that once made it great had to go somewhere. Many who were lost found a new home over there.
What is that? Just
taking
over
the
the
pieces
window?
of a once great kingdom and turning it into an empire, the likes of which we've never
The
seen.
music is sick,
This
still
is the
goated
untold
after all
story
this
of
time.
Activision Blizzard,
Yeah.
and how they accidentally created one of their greatest enemies.
It's called Arthas, my son,
The year
if you want to
was
listen to it.
2008, when Blizzard Entertainment was the golden boy of gaming.
The
They were
good
known
old
for putting
days.
their players first and taking a really long time to ensure their games were good. Really good. Unsurprisingly, this rockstar reputation earned them a cult following, and every budding game developer during this time wanted to be like Blizzard. But on the
Classic.
horizon, stormy weather was blowing in, announcing the arrival of evil,
The
House
Activision.
Activision, led by one man, Bobby Kotick. On a rampage, Activision's business model was based on consuming the souls of their enemies. And by this, I mean they would buy out small, struggling game studios and absorb them into the Activision brand.
Yeah.
They were
To this day, they still say that if you say Activision 3 times in front of a mirror, Bobby Kotick will come out and steal your wallet.
budding development teams with big ideas, and Activision would promise them funding to realize their dreams.
What else can I help you with?
Hey.
Guitar Hero,
Everything
Tony
is
Hawk's
available
Pro
for a
Skater, Call of
price.
Duty. Activision was even making games for a little comic book company called Marvel, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. For now, Activision was a powerhouse in the gaming industry with an insatiable appetite. And
the old
Bobby Kotick
cinematics
was
were
on
so
the hunt
good.
for bigger fish.
So
Which
good.
brings us to July 8th, 2008,
The
a
cursed
day
day.
that will live in infamy. Bobby wanted to buy Blizzard Games. He saw their perfect track record, their adoring fans, and, of course, their World of Warcraft subscription service, which was earning tens
That's
of
a lot of
millions
money.
dollars a month. Bobby wanted a piece. So he approached Blizzard's owner, Vivendi Games, asking for a price tag. Unwilling to simply sell one of their biggest cash cows, Vivendi instead negotiated a merger between the two companies. Vivendi would keep a
Dude.
majority stake in Blizzard, and Bobby would add a powerful piece to his arsenal.
That is smart.
Damn good deal.
Yes, it was, and one that sent shockwaves throughout the gaming industry.
You what?
Two titans coming together, about to show the world what they were truly capable of.
Surely
Thus,
nothing will go wrong here.
Blizzard Castle was created. Their first move, under their new name, was a big one, brokered by Bobby
God.
Kotick himself. World of
Really?
Warcraft was a huge game not just in North America, but around the world, with one of the biggest regions for the
China.
game being China. Unfortunately, China is notoriously strict about distributing rights to foreign companies. Activision hadn't had much luck getting around this roadblock, but Blizzard did. World of Warcraft was published and hosted on servers courtesy of Chinese company The Nine. When Activision and Blizzard merged, Bobby was essentially gifted this inroad into China on a silver platter.
Wait, so he just used Blizzard as like a Trojan horse to get into China, where he previously failed to do so? That is actually crazy smart. Like, that is crazy smart. Holy, I mean, don't get me wrong, this guy is pure evil, but yeah, this is the best financial move you can make. Like,
Unfortunately, the Nine wouldn't be in the picture for very long. The Wrath of the Lich King expansion for WoW
Too many
had
skeletons.
some, well, unsavory
Bruh, what is that? What is that censorship? You gave a skeleton dude a sack for a head and you put 2 sacks in his hands instead of 2 skulls. Are you kidding me? A pile of bone. It's just a pile of rock, and I don't know what the hell this is. Look like a bun. And what did you do to the Stitched Abomination? What? It's supposed to be an abomination. He's supposed to be disgusting. That's like the whole point. And I mean, come on, if you're gonna at least censor it, put some effort into it. At least give him some texture, give him some abs or something, give him like a power belly. What is that? It's just a smooth texture. They just hit it. That is so weird.
content that the Chinese censors didn't really like, and they put a 2-year embargo on the game's release. Eventually, the Nine and Activision Blizzard broke up over the whole situation, but not
Good
to worry,
thing we have
because they
NetEase.
quickly found a new distributor, the Shanghai-based company NetEase.
There it
This
is.
partnership would flourish over the next few years. WoW would remain one of the biggest games in China, and NetEase would help Blizzard develop their games. While things were amicable now, eventually, way down the line, the partnership would take a most unexpected turn. For now, business was booming. The free money machines were printing money.
Good.
The shareholders were happy with their shares. What more could you possibly want?
More money.
Right. The well-being of the players.
What?
That wasn't on Bobby Kotick's checklist. Ever since the merger, Blizzard had been adding in some mechanics to their games that felt shady, borderline exploitative. First was
No, dude. You see, that's not exploitative. You're just poor. That's it. I mean, why would you have to work for a mount and put time and effort into getting one and, be rewarded for your time invested in a game where you can just grab that wallet, give me $25, and I'll give you said mount? How cool is that, huh? See, I'm so nice that I'm even gonna give you a discount and just put it on a measly price of $12.50 just for you. Enjoy it. Very good.
Was World of Warcraft mounts becoming more expensive and more egregiously providing in-game
$90 mount is so popular. The game auction house is selling out of WoW token. Dude, what in God's name is going on this game? This is $90 mount. This is like, you can buy so many indie games with that. Why the hell would you buy a $90? Okay.
conveniences. Next was the Diablo 3 auction house, which made it very hard
what?
to not spend real money to beat high-level endgame content.
What? Okay, I gotta be honest with you guys. I only played Diablo 1, which I think, by the way, is still goated. It's insanely good game. I never played Diablo 3 or looked too much into it, so if one of you guys can explain to me in the comment section how the auction house actually worked there, which, by the way, what the hell am I seeing? You could buy items for real money? What in God's name is that? Yes, that is actually crazy. $50 buyout item, bid 35. Dude, what are we doing here? Is this like gambling? What in God's name is that? Not really gambling, like trying to outbidding one another with real life money for a few pixels? Dude, what the hell is that?
These newfangled microtransactions were sketching people out, and it felt like Activision's money-first, fun-later business model was worming its way into Blizzard's game development. As Blizzard North co-founder Max Schaefer put it, they think with their wallets first. The year is now 2014. Greed was starting to affect the company in very real ways. After a string of poor releases...
Whoa, okay, guys. A little bit of a hot take here. I actually really like the Deadpool game. I played it a ton when it released. Man, it released a long time ago. I was a teenager at the time, and it just goes to show how old I am now, I guess. But yeah, that is crazy. I don't know what X-Men Destiny is, and I guess thank God for that. It doesn't look that great. But the Deadpool game, I thought it was super fun. Also, I really love Nolan North voice acting. And by the way, he's supposed to voice act him as Deadpool in Marvel Rivals as well, because he's already voice acting in the game. So people are expecting this. And yeah, it's gonna be glorious. I did enjoy this game.
Marvel opted not to renew their contract with Activision.
It was funny.
At the same time, Blizzard employees were seeing the shift in company culture and looking for opportunities elsewhere.
Oof.
At the confluence of these two rivers was a man named Jay Ong, who left the company in 2014 to work for Marvel Games. At the time, Marvel was, as we mentioned, known for making some pretty mediocre games. After all of their work was outsourced and was primarily developed to release alongside their feature films. But Jay Ong had a vision. Although Marvel was still small and struggling, he made the choice to pledge his allegiance to a new kingdom, telling his former boss the Marvel IP needs a better home, to which he received a smug response, "Good luck finding your unicorn." This challenge would prove fateful for Blizzard. From here on, Jay Ong began building, brick by brick, a Marvel Games that was about to enter an era of success which it had never seen before. Learning from experience, Jay Ong was driven by one core principle: obsession with quality. Jay Ong implemented new strategies, including only working with the very best partners who also cared about quality, removing restrictions which hindered them from making the best games, and giving them creative freedom. In his own words, quote, "They don't have to meet some artificial date. We give them time. We initiate projects far earlier than we used to. Great products require time to make. They have..."
Wow, that's crazy. When you give people time to work and perfect their art, they actually give you a good product. That's insane. When you don't harass people with absurd deadlines, they actually make great games. That's crazy. When you don't cut financial corners, you actually get a good product. Crazy.
Have room to breathe
Unbelievable.
creatively. In short, People were allowed to try new things, and failure was seen as learning. In the
Yeah, but why try new things when you can do the thing that already working and cash out on that and save time in the process? Like, why
years
would
to
you
come,
do that?
Marvel games faced some growing pains, including flops of their own, but it was
Yikes.
part of the process. Jay Ong was fostering an environment where
Avengers
creatives
game.
could do their best work, and whispers started to spread of a game-making paradise. Meanwhile, Blizzard was struggling. After the rocky launch of Diablo 3,
I love
Blizzard
this
had
player.
2 real flops in a row. The first was
Green, what is your problem? Green?
the cancellation of their secretive MMO, Titan, which was
Me say alone ramp. Me say alone ramp. Dude, I'm gonna watch this clip again after that.
postured to be the successor of World of Warcraft. Titan's development started in 2007, and over the years, countless Blizzard employees were sent to
Titan.
work on the project. But as the game languished in development hell, blame fell on the execs for not making any meaningful decisions to get the game off the ground. And after 6 years of time and resources spent, Titan was internally cancelled in 2013. The project would ultimately cost Blizzard $80 million, and many veterans who were stuck working on the project were completely demoralized. Following this, in 2015, Blizzard released their answer to League of Legends, but it wasn't the game they wanted to make. They wanted to use the name Dota,
Heroes
which was
of the
based
Storm.
on the Warcraft 3 mod that grew like wildfire over the past decade.
No.
But Valve already hired the creator of the mod to make a game like that for them,
Gaben
and
already
trademarked
did
Dota
that.
2 a few years earlier. Failing legal action to block the trademark, Blizzard was forced to use a different name, thus creating Heroes of the Storm. But the
But trying to go against Gaben it's just a mistake. It's just a mistake.
MOBA market was already too saturated,
And I love Gaben
Heroes
to
of the
death.
Storm simply could not compete.
No, this wasn't the problem with Heroes. So, okay, here's the part where I can actually speak about what happened because I'm a huge, I'm a huge MOBA player and I played MOBA my entire life. I played every single MOBA game under the sun, those existing today and those that are no longer with us included. And I can speak of Heroes of the Storm because I played for so many hours because I had like a honeymoon phase with it. But I immediately fell out of love with it and just returned to Dota 2 right after. I played Dota 2 over like 7 years, so yeah. I played League for over 2 years, so I have my experience. So here's the thing with Heroes of the Storm. The reason why this game fell, a lot of people like making excuses of management and stuff. The game was just bad. It's honestly that simple. It was just a really bad game fundamentally. It was atrocious. It removed every single core aspect out of a MOBA, and every single person that loves Heroes of the Storm will tell you that the only reason they love it is because they hate Dota 2 and League of Legends. And that is the reason why Heroes of the Storm never saw success. It's not because the market was saturated, which it was, and it did provided some difficulties, but it's not like people cannot move to a different MOBA. MOBA is the least, how do we say it? Like the least tied, like the least binding game out there because you're not overcommitted. You can start a new MOBA player and just rank up. So like as a new MOBA player and just rank up. The problem with Heroes of the Storm is that they removed laning phase from the game. They removed itemization and builds. And yeah, you had the talent system, which was absolutely garbage. And most of the time, you just picked the same talents over and over again because they were clearly better over the other ones. And yeah, you removed itemization, you removed laning phase, you put some silly objectives, you had no control on which map you're playing. There's some maps that I liked, like the Doubloons map, and there's some maps that I hated, like the Cursed Crows one, which was so garbage, nobody liked to play that. And yeah, it was just bad, dude. I mean, you removed scaling from the game, it's just weird, everyone shares experience. It was really bad game. It wasn't just fun. It just wasn't fun. Also, the way the game moved, in my opinion, wasn't really great. It didn't feel really smooth, as League of Legends and Dota 2, that's for sure.
MOBA market was already too saturated, and Heroes of the Storm simply could not compete. With the cancellation of Titan followed by the failure of Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard needed something, anything, to get their wheels back on track. Creativity and morale were at an all-time low, but with what little they had left in the tank, they decided to give it their all. And it's a good thing they did, because they struck gold.
Wow.
Compassion.
There she
Remember
is.
that? Remember when the first Overwatch cinematic was released?
cinematics
when
was
Mercy
insane,
came down
for sure.
and everyone was like, wow, this is it. This is gonna save gaming.
Yeah, I don't think people will understand how big it was at the time. That cinematic actually changed gaming history. That was crazy. That cinematic was insane. Everyone looked forward for this game, including myself.
Us too. It was glorious. Overwatch was fun. dynamic, unique.
It was.
It was critically acclaimed and won multiple Game of the Year awards. It was a reminder to all of us what Blizzard was capable of, and that they still had that magic in them to create legitimately good games. Then, when we thought it couldn't get any better, they announced the Overwatch League, the first internationally franchised esports league in history. It was going to be the NFL of gaming competition. Teams tied to cities, fans wearing jerseys, players flown all over the world to compete against each other. There was this belief, this energy, that the OWL was going to break the stigma on competitive video games as being weird and bring it into the mainstream. Bobby even convinced his friends to invest. Guys like Patriots owner Robert Kraft, Arsenal and Denver Nuggets owner Stan Kroenke, NetEase invested in the Shanghai Dragons, even Elon Musk was at investor meetings.
Really? Wow, you're telling me Bobby Kotick did all of that just to just to convince his friends to invest in something they have absolutely no idea what the hell is going on? Wow, that is actually crazy. Surely he didn't do it for the money.
In short, the OWL had legitimacy from real sports, the backing of multiple billionaires and multinational corporations, and the OWL instantly became the poster boy for the upcoming esports boom. For many, it looked like Blizzard just reclaimed their throne, and were ready to take back what they'd lost. But there was one part of the equation that we didn't factor in: Bobby's smudgy little fingerprints all over the game. Despite releasing an amazing game to diehard fans, the game was full of microtransactions, drip-fed content, loot boxes so predatory, they were banned under certain countries' gambling laws.
Well, I gotta be honest here. At the time when I played Overwatch, I didn't think the loot box system was that predatory. It felt like I had all the skins that I wanted to have, and I have like money to buy them. So I don't know. I think, generally speaking, the loot box system of Overwatch was fair compared to like other games. I know it was banned because of European laws, but I mean, to me it felt fair. At the time, at least. I don't know. If I play today, I don't know. Maybe I would have think differently. I heard they're making a comeback, so we'll see the response to that. But at the time when I played, I felt like they were fair.
Plus, the insane $20 million price tag to buy an OWL franchise spot was unheard of, and was something only Bobby's billionaire friends would be able to afford.
That is crazy.
So much of the game felt like it was focused on money, 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 and as the months dragged on, it seemed like the devs were more concerned with releasing cosmetics than fixing problems with the actual game. Soon, it became apparent that the golden age of Blizzard was a bygone era. And although Overwatch thrived for many years, many believed the game never realized its full potential. And sadly, there wouldn't be another chance at redemption, because Blizzard was about to get hit with a series of lawsuits from which they would never recover. In 2017, Blizzard employees, old and new, started voicing their concerns, some in open letters, some to the media, and some in lawsuits describing the work environment as being misogynistic, unsafe, and similar to that of a frat house. Front and center were allegations against Bobby Kotick himself, claiming that he was aware of misconduct in the company and helped to cover it up, which really shouldn't come as a surprise. There's a paper trail of terrible behavior perpetrated by Kotick, stretching as far back as he's been around. In 2006, he allegedly threatened to have an employee killed. In 2022, Kotick
okay, I remember this one. It's kind of sound weird when you say it like that. Basically, he told, I think it was to... I don't think she was his assistant. No, she had a key role in the company. I forgot her name. She was also like super evil and greedy, don't get me wrong, but yeah, he like completely just harassed her. That is insane. He's actually insane. He's just the devil.
Tried to buy Kotaku and PC Gamer in an effort to, quote, change the public narrative.
Yeah, of course. Like, why would you not want people that cover your games to give you good treatment? Like, that is crazy. So just, if they give you a bad treatment because you release bad products, you should just buy them and change the narrative. Of course. Just makes sense.
The allegations started piling up, and it eventually reached a breaking point in 2018, when Mike Morhaime stepped down as the CEO of Blizzard after 27 years of service. This was closely followed by several other long-standing Blizzard employees doing the same. This included Overwatch head writer Michael Chu, Blizzard co-founder Frank Pierce, and someone who will be very important later on in the story. His name was Ray Gresco, a seasoned veteran at Blizzard who served as chief design officer and the head producer for Overwatch. He was recognized for his pivotal role in lifting the Titan team from a slump, inspiring them to transform into a powerhouse group that ultimately brought Overwatch to life. His departure meant one of Blizzard's great leaders was now no longer with the company. With two of Blizzard's founders out of the picture, the future of the company hung in the balance. Meanwhile, none of the legal troubles stuck to Bobby Kotick personally, and despite board members being aware of his inappropriate behavior and voicing their concerns, Bobby had a clause in his contract that made it very, very expensive to get rid of him.
Yeah, if I remember the numbers correctly, it was over 100 million just to fire him. You have to give him compensation. It was crazy, dude. I have no idea how we got that bargain, but that was insane. That was some power move. That was some next level shit. That was crazy.
So, they just let him stay on as CEO. The gates of Blizzard were wide open, and no one was around to stop him. His first decree as king was layoffs. Major layoffs. Nearly 800 Activision Blizzard employees were terminated, and almost overnight, board meetings were dominated by sales and marketing execs rather than creatives.
Why would you want creatives in, how to design a game? Like, why would you ever want to meet a meeting like that? All you need is literally the finance guy, and you're good. Just add more ponies into the game. Add more mounts. Get a dinosaur in there. Make him $100. Who cares? Someone will purchase it. Just go, dude. Just go. See that graph? Go up and up, baby.
It was so bad that a few years later, Jeff Kaplan, the lead director of Overwatch, left the company after butting heads with Suits over his vision for Overwatch 2. He wanted more time to develop the game's PvE and wanted to ensure that he was creating something new and innovative for the sequel of one of the biggest games of the decade.
Dude, Jeff Kaplan is such an incredible guy. Like, you wouldn't even believe. So in case you don't know, he actually worked on World of Warcraft, especially Classic. And if you go and watch right now one of the older videos of how WoW Classic was created, when he talked about it, dude, it's insane. This guy, passion for gaming, is unmatched. He's so good. He's just insanely good and talented at what he does. That is so unfortunate that he left the Overwatch team. But yeah, that pretty much marked the death of Overwatch.
But he was told that it wouldn't be financially viable to delay development. So he ended up leaving the project altogether. As the clouds over the kingdom darkened, those fleeing the chaos sought refuge in unlikely places. Some went to other companies, some started their own, and although hope was fading for these wandering souls, a new era was beginning to coalesce. In 2018, Hamilton Chu, the executive producer for Hearthstone, was saddened by the fact that he was spending more time talking to shareholders than working on his game. Stuck in a funk, he received a phone call out of the blue from an old friend. It was Mr. Jay Ong, the ex-Blizzard exec we mentioned earlier, who is now the head of Marvel Games. In this phone call, he basically said to Chu, "If you leave Blizzard, you can find a home at Marvel." Chu quickly relayed this message to Hearthstone game director, Ben Brode. They began daydreaming about starting something new, something which would allow them to get back into the heart of game development. That's not to say they didn't love their jobs. When describing Brode, former Blizzard engineer Brian Schwab said, quote, "He would have stayed on Hearthstone until the sun death of the universe. That's how much he bled Blizzard." But these creatives were forced to conduct marketing strategy meetings and create shareholder value instead of building awesome games. And when that happens...
That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine being a game developer and being constantly forced on marketing meetings just so you learn how to squeeze every single penny out of your customers. That is actually insane. You're just dried up, man. Eventually the well dries up. Not the money well, but like the creativity well. You're just drained, man. That is crazy. It takes every bit of power from you.
People won't stick around for long. Brode and Chu departed Blizzard in 2018 to start their own gaming studio, and it was a big deal. The hype surrounding Second Dinner was a turning point for many reasons. The first is that Jae-Yong wasn't kidding about making games for Marvel, and in a few short years, the team at Second Dinner would release Marvel Snap.
Well, Marvel Snap is a mega controversial and predatory game, and I know because I play Marvel Snap every day. Unfortunately, I'm like hooked. It's all I do in my job, so yeah, I have a day job, right? I'm not doing this full time, as you know. Maybe one day in the future, if you guys invest enough in me. But yeah, for now, I'm a Marvel Snap enjoyer, and unfortunately this game is mega predatory.
Now one of the biggest Hearth games in the world, and a direct competitor to Hearthstone. The second is how they got funding to start up. Right out of the gate, Second Dinner received $30 million in investment from NetEase.
Whoa.
Yeah, that NetEase. This was problematic for Blizzard. Not only was NetEase their Chinese publisher, but they also developed games for Blizzard like Diablo
They're double dipping.
To invest millions of dollars into ex-Blizzard employees for them to create a game that was in direct competition with one of their biggest IPs was a blatant attack to their partnership and would irreparably damage their relationship. And it wasn't the first time that something like this had happened. Also in 2018, NetEase invested $100 million into Bungie, the creators of Destiny 2, a game that was, at the time, on Activision's catalog of games.
Ooh.
In 2019, NetEase signed a contract with Marvel to create a series of films, comic books, and of course, video games, creating Marvel Super War and Marvel Duel over the next couple of years. Plus, it didn't go unnoticed that this Marvel contract was kind of similar to the one Activision lost back in 2014. But why would they do this? In the years leading to their fallout, the Chinese government was cracking down on video games, banning children from playing on weekdays, as well as imposing new regulations for publishers to follow. NetEase was cited as, quote, feeling the pressure, but Activision was passive at best when it came to meeting these guidelines.
Not my problem.
Requests for information on revenue? No. Tell us about your business operations? No. Help us out even a little bit? No. To Activision, this was some sort of ploy from NetEase to get more money out of them. To NetEase, it was disruptive and threatened the whole partnership, and all of it was made significantly worse by the conduct of Bobby. Many at NetEase allege that he was incredibly difficult to work with, not just as a business partner, but personally as well. Simon Zhu, president of partnerships at NetEase, following a particularly bad meeting, said, quote, developers and gamers will have a whole new level of understanding of how much damage a jerk can make.
Oof.
Tensions came to a head in 2022 after a mistranslation during a meeting where Activision felt like they were being threatened. Soon after, the partnership ended, meaning at the start of 2023, Blizzard games like World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, and Overwatch 2 were no longer available in.
Man, is it gonna show the video of them literally breaking like the axe statue of the horse statue of Blizzard they had in China? That's gonna be hilarious.
China. Understandably, there it is! People didn't have it well.
Now I understand.
And then the divorce got messy and even messier. However, no longer burdened by this toxic relationship, NetEase was able to focus on developing a new game, one that would fill the hole left by the abysmal release of Overwatch 2 in 2023. You guessed it, Marvel Rivals.
Oh, there it is.
This was the hero shooter fans were waiting for. After the success of Marvel Snap, news that a free-to-play hero shooter using the Marvel IP was under development had basically the entire gaming industry frothing at the mouth.
I got goosebumps right now, dude.
The art style was right out of a comic book. The characters looked amazing. The gameplay was oddly similar to Overwatch, but with more characters, more complexity, and way more players. In its first month, Marvel Rivals grossed more than $130 million.
Wow, 130 million. I didn't know that. That is insane. That is insane numbers. But it's little to no surprise. This game is so good. And it's so
Not
good.
bad for a free-to-play game. It surpassed 10 million unique players, peaking at nearly 500,000 concurrent players on Steam at launch, and has kept that momentum months later, still averaging hundreds of thousands of unique players.
Insane amounts. So what you need to realize about games, multiplayer games, I'm not going to include like single player games, obviously. On multiplayer games, they have like a really explosive start, and then after a few months, they eventually lose like, I believe it's 90% on average of their player base or something like that, like 80-90% player base. Marvel Rivals managed to retain 50% players. That is crazy amount. That is unparalleled. That is insane. The only game that's pretty much succeeded by making like more people or just keeping the same amount as launch day is CSGO. That is literally the only game that managed to do it. But that's because CSGO is so widely available and easy to play. Well, not easy to play, just, you know, easy to get into. And it's so widely available. So yeah, you know, there's like a lot of things that contributes to that. Marvel Rivals isn't as accessible because you really need a really good PC to play it. I mean, even my PC, I literally made a video about this just a few days ago, like even my PC can't run it anymore, and my PC is pretty powerful, so just the average person wouldn't even be able to run this game. I truly think they need to fix optimization so more people can run this game, and you'll see an actual huge increase of players, you know, just because of that.
But that leaves a question. NetEase and Marvel Games joining forces was big, but who are the actual people who made it all possible? The first name that comes to mind is Ray Gresco, the head producer of Overwatch 1 we mentioned earlier, who left Blizzard in 2019. After his departure, he started a video game consulting firm called Blue Silver Studios. One of their clients is listed as Disney, as in the owner of Marvel Games. And in 2024, Gresko was appointed as the Senior VP, Head of Product and Development for Disney Games.
Interesting.
Given the uncanny resemblance of Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, it's hard to believe that Gresko didn't bring some of that creative Overwatch juice to his consulting with Disney. But the person that really was the mastermind behind it all was Jae Ong. He had come a long way since leaving Blizzard in 2014, and is now one of the big players at Disney Game. Throughout the years, his drive to foster an awesome work culture won the trust of ex-Blizzard veterans and NetEase. And who knew a focus on creating great games, instead of just profits, would end up making you profitable.
Yep, because the barrier to entry is so low. I mean, it's literally free to play, and you have all the characters available to you. You don't lock characters behind paid stores or behind like battle passes. No, like there's no paid feature. The only feature you pay for is cosmetics, and when people enjoy the game, they will purchase cosmetics eventually. And also, the battle passes are so affordable. It's crazy. It's $10 for a battle pass. That is insane. And it's not like the battle pass skins are bad. The battle pass skin are literally better than the store ones. Like, that is crazy. There's so many cool skins in the battle pass. You just want to buy that for those skins. Even if you're not gonna like half of the skins, you're still gonna have like 3 or 4 skins that you are going to enjoy till the end of times. So yeah, the battle passes are crazy good. You can claim that the skins on the shop are a bit overpriced, and you know, sure, but you're getting so much for so less, and I mean for so cheap. Why wouldn't you take a little bit of an overpriced skin over that? I can live with that. Like, I can live with that. We're getting this entire game for free, and we're getting some really affordable battle passes. I'm not gonna complain if a skin costs a little bit too much.
Instead of just profits, would end up making you profitable.
So, what should we make of all this?
Ooh, he's been called out. Signed petition demanding CEO.
Blizzard
Whoa.
just took a lot of hits. By October 2023, Activision
Microsoft.
Blizzard was acquired by Microsoft for $75 billion. Their
Yep.
ruined castle was just repoed and moved to the Microsoft campus in Redmond, Washington. And Bobby Kotick? Well, he was
escaped.
somehow able to convince Microsoft to buy it all. And he was so beloved by the new company that they paid him $400 million just to step down.
He got away. He did all of that. He literally injected himself into Blizzard, infested and rotted a company from within, and then escaped on a golden parachute by selling it off to Microsoft. What a guy. What a guy. That's a businessman.
So, Bobby came out of this with what he loves most: money. But with
Yeah.
nothing left to prey on, he spends his days sharing conspiracy theories on how unions were the reason for his downfall.
I can tell you exactly what happened. So,
What?
the Communication Workers of America, because they started looking at technology, they kept close to the
Wait, it's not me, dude. It's the unionizing people that, like poor people that worked under me. It's their fault. It's not my decision. My decisions were good. You see that graph? It goes like way up there. This is me. So, well, what is that? This is me doing it. No, it's the people unionizing that try to. That's what. That was a regicide. I'm telling you.
because they represented. I didn't realize the government until the EEOC will come because we pay well against with great benefits.
Bro, what
Disney,
great
Marvel,
benefits.
and NetEase have
What great benefits? They got trauma for entire life. What great benefits? What's that? Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna go too deep into it in this video, but if you want to know what exactly happened in Blizzard, like allegation and all that stuff that was revealed, there's plenty of content on that. It's old news by now, but yeah, man, this guy is actually unhinged.
built an amazing partnership. And all in all, Marvel Rivals looks like it's here to stay. They have the player base, they have the investments, and they have an amazing team that cares about the community and regularly releasing content.
Yeah.
With Bobby out of the picture, NetEase and Blizzard
It's actually so crazy to see how Marvel Rivals actually care about the lore of the game. That actually surprised me. I thought they wouldn't care. I thought they'd just make a great game and just keep releasing skins for the game. No, they actually care about the lore. The lore is insanely good, and I highly recommend you actually read it.
Rekindled their partnership, and in 2014, games like World of Warcraft returned to China. As 2025 unfolds, it's uncertain what awaits the gaming industry. Everywhere we look, the corruptive power of greed continues to infiltrate great kingdoms. But as long as there are heroes that stand for quality first, there will always be hope for great games to come.
NetEase confirmed Marvel Rivals layoff safe cut from May to optimize. Oh, wait. No, okay. So this one it's kind of weird. Apparently they just cut a team based in America, which wasn't really involved in the game or something like that. Not that I'm saying that it's not bad or anything, but it's not as bad as some people make it sound like. So yeah, wow, definitely great video, man. Action always makes this banger. What a great video. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you guys can watch it for yourself and give it a like, and of course subscribe to this channel because it's just great, dude. Like, it's just a great video. His channel is amazing, so just go watch it. And yeah, overall, what do you think? Man, Marvel Rivals is such a great game. I mean, it's free to play. It's not predatory, at least not in the way I feel. You get all this amazing stuff for free, and you actually get a pretty decent amount of like blue money. I forgot how it's called, the blue currency for the skins. You actually get pretty decent amount for free. But yeah, that was pretty much all for this video. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.